Hey everyone, DuckNuck84 here, back with more Pillars of Eternity. In our last episode, we found out that we are a watcher and can communicate with the spirits of the deceased and dispossessed. And we found out that the lovely couple in here was having an affair and basically sent the husband was killed by the bear after being hamstrung, and we took their gold and looted their house as punishment. So, now we have to get these mushrooms that are down here. And then we are going to have to make a decision. Are we going to go to the east, or are we going to go the south and get the potion for the midwife? I think we've been everywhere here. Temple of Eothas. Well, we haven't been there, and we haven't been to the mill. So let's go there first. Oh, you actually want to talk to me this time. Smell of pipe smoke, at once earthly and sweet, winds its way into your nostrils. Your eyes trace the smoke to its origin, where you find a broad man with a straw-colored hair, leaning against a mossy rock wall. His pipe held it to his lips with one meaty hand. He looks directly in your eyes, but the look is not aggressive. He regards you with a peculiar smirk.
17 and a half. Well, could be 18, depending on how you count the dwarf woman.
Talking about, 17 and a half. You're talking about, how many people were hung.
The people hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted, anyway.
Why are you counting the dead, that is? Eloth frowns. Is that what people do for fun around here?
Name's Adair. Though to the people around here, might as well be 19. Don't think I'd put you much higher than 22, 23 tops. You look like the sort that likes to get involved.
Yep, I already am involved, to some extent.
The dwarf woman. You were trying to figure out whether to count her as a full person. I think you oughta.
Not really, but that's a lot easier to explain than to say that I was speaking to her spirit. He looks at you a moment, his brows arch, his smirk broadens.
I was smoking over here, saw you staring at her. Twice I refilled my pipe. You never so much as blinked. Your mouth was so slack I took you for a Radric at first.
Well, do you know what a watcher is?
Careful, friend. Let's not use that word round here. Could be any number of Radric bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers,
yeah, I've noticed.
Animancers, watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here, Radric especially. They come through these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they claim to be. Of course, seeing you with that funny look, I'd be halfway inclined to believe you were having some kind of communion with that dwarf.
Oh, it was about as weird as you think.
Either case, maybe I'm not 19 after all. No offense.
So what do you think you did to get yourself
The town's had it in for me for a long time now. Only fellow who ever stuck up for me, well, he's number 18 up there. My headman on the farm. Used to be my captain during the war.
The war, you say? Saints' War. Only one in my lifetime. A fella decided he's the living incarnation of Eothas, overthrows I can never pronounce these things. Red Sirius marches on Drywood, so we gave him the Drywood hello.
We blew him up.
Okay. Eothas, the god of retribution and redemption, formerly anyhow. Maybe they call him something different where you come from. So why was your headman hanged? Got involved, okay. Frederick sent men down here the other day, said they had it on good authority someone in town was working with Kolsek, plotting Radric's overthrow. Said if he didn't come forward right then and there, they'd hang every last one of us. No one came forward, so Swithins, that's my headman, he stepped up and say it's him. They took him at his word. So he did a I'm Spartacus. He sighs and shakes his head, his eyes fixed on the tree. Bound to happen sooner or later, if not for the plotting against Radric, then from protecting me.
Pick the wrong god. That's what it comes down to. Used to be a lot of Eothas worshippers in Gilded Vale. That mess of rocks over there, that was a temple to him, to give you some idea.
That's the same god of retribution that the other guy thought he was.
Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Deerwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Eothas. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Eothas isn't so popular in these parts. My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way was that Eothas. He enlisted, then I did too. But, he didn't make it back. After the war, people took to punishing Eothas worshippers, accusing them of treason. Got real ugly, especially after the legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, that he was on the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me.
And they did that, so...
Seems that's no longer a concern. Of course, the townies don't do the hanging these days, but when Radric's men come, they got no problem doing the pointing.
Eothas glances at you and lowers his voice. You can see why I was eager to leave. Who's this Kolsek? Someone who got tired of all the hangings. He's on the run now, probably will be till they catch him. So if you're going to be the next person hung, why are you still here? Well, might as well go out happy, I guess. Point in fact, I'm on my way out. Just haven't figured where I'm going yet. Not a whole lot of places out there that don't think Waidwin's legacy started with Waidwin. Well, I could always use another fighter in the group. Some place called Cadranua. Another butchering of the name. There's an old watcher there who might be able to help me.
Seem to remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People would seek him out for all kinds of things. Troubles of the soul, questions for the departed. Of course, that was back when you didn't have to say watcher with a hush on your breath. A man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. Don't know why I never thought of it before. Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger, and a strange one at that. But, truth be told, you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief seeing me swing from that tree.
You do have a point. There's a fine reason if I ever had one.
Alright then. Guess I'll do some sightseeing. Long as you're not the one picking the sights.
Tilts his head forward and then gives you a pointed look. Let's get going.
Yeah.
What's this new quest? Edwin's agreed to travel with me. He seems to have some questions he thought a watcher might be able to answer. Okay.
Right.
Let's see what you got. What are you wearing? Saint's war armor. So you got some pretty decent armor there. Let's just give you some extra stuff we got now. You can have that cape, and let's say you look with that helmet on. Stupid. Let's not give you that helmet. Oh, wait, you already have a cape. I might just end up having to sell that cape. Yeah, your cape's better than this ratty old red one I was going to give you. Let's put all that stuff back in here. Just out of curiosity, does that look any better on you? It looks a little better on you. Still don't know if helmets really do anything other than just give you a different look. Remember back in Baldur's Gate, they basically, I think, protected you against criticals. Yeah, we'll leave that on. Okay, and so you have that and a war bow. Buttered up stance and knockback.
Huh?
How may I help?
How may I be of service? Let's see. Thoughts on what we should do next. He shrugs, fidgeting with the hem of his sleeve, not much longer than you. As you saw, it was hardly the haven that I had been advertised. Okay, so nothing new really to say. Now let's check out this church. It's a child. Temple used to be closed up. I used to climb on the big stones. What about you? I'm guessing I can read your spirit. Still don't know what those are all about. Wretched beasts. I haven't been here for must be 5-6 years. Man lies resting against the wall, lit by the dim illumination of the faded scions, sconces even. He has a gaunt fox-like aspect, and his face is pale and damp with sweat. One arm is held loosely against his side, sleeve soaked with blood. He gives you an anxious glance as you near. His features twist with pain. Have a care. If you must go in, cast a quick look toward the doorway to his left. This place is not empty as I thought. Jingles look at Eder. Paying your respects to Eothas, he manages to pain grim. A little risky, isn't it? Think that the town folks would say, or think what the town folks would say. Safer down here than up here, than up there even with the rats as big as they are. This temple isn't what it used to be. Probably for the best. Times being as they are, I'm no looter. If if there's what you're thinking. Not one of his types either. Jerks to Eder. Just wanted to do some good, I suppose. Got my arm chewed up for it. Maybe you'll have better luck. With what will I have better luck? There's these ruins around us used to be the temple of Eothas, the scattered god. Grand temple at that. His worshippers would come from all over the drywood. From Redissus even. Never gonna get those names right. Not much use for that these days. Until the war, of course. Even then you'd get some of the stubborn ones. The ones that couldn't get it through their heads that their god was dead and gone. I would never say that, because like I said, I'm a historian. Once the legacy started, Lord Roderick decided he'd been too lenient on the Eothasians. He had his people go into and put them to the sword, left them down here, buried under a heap of rocks. After that, Roderick ordered the temple sealed. It's been years like that. Up until recently, Lord Roderick hoped that if we rededicate the temple to the living God, then we'll be forgiven and the legacy will end, see? But until then, the temple is, as you see it, unguarded. That's where you come in. Those priests, maybe they didn't have a lick of sense between them, but they still didn't deserve to go like that. Chopped down in their god's house. Doesn't sit right with me. If you can get down there, find their remains, maybe we can finally give them proper burials. No small task. There's coin in it for you if you need motivating. Pleasant surprise to see that someone around here has a shred of respect for the dead. Let's see. Questions first. Yeah, Lord seems kind of paranoid. Won't he mind us digging around here? I wouldn't go telling him about it. Lingering in these parts isn't good for anyone, but you do this quick and quiet, and we can do right by those priests without raising a fuss. Yeah, who are you? Oh, name's Rutan. I lived in the Gilded Vale long enough to remember how grand it used to be. Used to help the temple sometimes, bring supplies and that. I'll go ahead and do it. Then by the flame I owe you a good turn. But listen, the temple's been sealed off for so long, it's crawling with creatures. But if you get past them, the priests would have been down on the lower floors. They'll be there still if they're anywhere. Those priests had all kinds of secret chambers, switches in the walls, tricks, sconces, the kind of thing. Keep an eye out and take care down there. Wouldn't want to send someone else in there after you. I'll wait here by the stairs and keep a good lookout. Maybe try to patch myself up some. Okay, so we are going to do that, looks like. Rising sun and the 3 dawn stars, that symbol of Eothas. Before we do this, though, let's go check out the mill. See if there's anything there we need. Some more villagers. Villager. What's going on here? We know there's more grain in there, Trumbull. We don't sell for scraps while you grow fat on our crops. Muffled shouting emerges from inside the mill. The first of you drunkards who comes through this door gets a shot between the eyes. Gods hear me. Swainer, I'll put you down like a dog. Come away from that now, lad. But we'll be back, Trumbull, and you'll have a fair price or by the flames we'll have a reckoning. It's just one thing after another in this town. And I wanted to sell here. What the hell was I thinking? Elven man stands before you. His relatively stocky build suggests a life of labor. His face is pale and drawn, and his eyes wide. Behind him, a young man and woman exchange worried glances. Miller raises a club as you enter. It shakes violently in his grips. Get back, if you value your life. Not here to hurt anyone. Wait, I know you. You just came into town, right? Don't tell me Swainer already got his claws into you. God, that's all I need. Nope. My name is Casbaa, and I've only just arrived in this lovely town. Picked a bad time coming to Gilded Vale, and all its shining scrapped off. Just a big dung heap now, and Swainer's thinking he's king of it. They're all of them mad. Yeah, I'm starting to think that. Where'd it begin? Swainer whipped them up into a froth, going on about grain stores. Claims I'm hiding away most of it. All I do with the grain is sell it. I can't create it out of thin air, and I can't hand it out for free. I pay the farmers for the crop they bring in, and I sell what comes out of the mill. Most of it goes to the Black Hound, and the rest on the west side of town for ale, and Swainer and his lot sure don't mind that part. Take a look at the fields on the way into town. Crops is blighted, and most of what I'm getting from the farmers. It's gone off rotten, though. Can't pay top price for blighted wheat, and I'm barely gotten enough good grain to go around. Swainer's howling after things he has no right to. If I had resolve, makes me wonder what that is. Let's see. Seems like a pretty clean story for a messy situation. I ought to go and talk with him. Yeah, I'll do that because it wasn't uncommon back in the day, even though this is fantasy, that Millers did kind of get the bad rap of things. I'd be grateful if you did that. He won't listen to me anymore, but maybe you'll have better luck. Tell him we're all having a hard time of it, and we'll all have to make some sacrifices. We'll be in your debt for it, if you can convince him. Okay, more quests. Loading up on them. I just want to check something. Memory, somewhere here, it was supposed to say hits, crits, damage taken, times knocked out. Show what my reputation was. Well, no matter. Okay, so now we gotta calm the farmers down, get a potion for a pregnant woman, and deal with the dead priests in a temple. Sounds like a full day of adventuring to me. Where's the temple now? There it is. We'll do you first since you're in town. And hopefully find some loot along the way. Okay, I'm going to attack, and
Lava will be on seek.
What the? Oh, I've been confused. Great.
How may I help?
Use that.
Lava will be on seek.
Huh?
How may I help?
Now get back there. The Watcher unravels the veil, essence of his or her enemies, gaining endurance in the process. Okay, so I can regain some endurance for that. Nice to know.
Deal with this one.
That's one down.
How may I help? Let's hop.
Assault. Ow.
Taxed my limits.
And you got knocked out. Now the fight, but as long as you're victorious, they get back up. Do I have all that stuff? Blunt death. Okay, yeah, I do have that going. For some reason that was turned off for the auto chant. Sorry, I did not mean to do that.
Alright then.
That was not what I meant to do.
How may I help?
I'm just seeing if I can turn some of these things on auto. What do we got? Wisp Essence. Parchment is worn and tattered, and the ink faded. Ink upon it is faded. In this time of hardship must have just as much faith as ourselves. As ourselves or in ourselves? In ourselves, even. I will take that. It's on that.
Que silves mitum.
I'm not going to use my spells for that.
Curses. Que silves mitum.
What do we got? Spider sac venom.
Que silves mitum.
Okay, cool. So he has magic attacks even if he doesn't use his Grimoire. Once again, good to know. Anything in here we got? The nearby crystal lights with crack, the mosaic floor and shades of orange, and at the center angle of the metallic symbol beneath your feet glimmers gold. As you look on, the air shimmers as if with summer heat. The very dust in the air seems to pull together until a thin glowing mist appears before you. In its rippled gleam, you sometimes think you can see a shape of a man, features rendered in broken strokes of the air and smoke. Your voice sparks movement. The spirit surges with a sudden blazing light, and in the next moment you are somewhere else, your mind assailed with a sudden wave of fear and noise. You're in the chapel hall. Priests and faithful have gathered in a great crowd. Spilling into the halls, bodies press against you, surging forward to listen. Your own grief is mirrored in the faces around you. Some of them, initiates, are weeping. Someone has snuffed the candles and the room is dark, save for the podium lit from behind. Two people stand before it, lit in silhouette. A man is shouting, voices his rage with fear. You cannot understand what he says, but the Rectrix stands calm, unmoved. Her strength will see you all through these dark times. You feel that the hope like a spark behind your ribs. Somewhere behind you, someone begins to sing. The spirit tears itself from you with a sudden dizzying force, and you find yourself back before the ruined altar swaying. The spirit fades as suddenly as it has appeared. Face of the statue has mostly been struck off along with portions of its hand. What do we got here? Red brown smeared flakes away under the toe of your boot. Probably blood. Come on, spiders. Looks like we might get some good loot in here. Now I wonder, because like I said, plus max to endurance, constitution. None of this cures fatigue, though. Okay, we might go to the inn. Initiates note. Can't carry anymore. Actually, let's camp here, because then we can just take the extra firewood there. Okay, let's see what the initiate had to say. This parchment is relatively intact, but the ink upon it is faded. You can make out a few parchments of careful, tidy script, or maybe parchment, a few patches. Isitors to the ritual floor. Rectrix Obricia says dimension for even these Orgut, and struck the largest bell first rather than second. The rest is illegible. So I'm guessing that's probably going to have something to do with a puzzle.
Sure.
It sounds like a bell puzzle.
Quae silves mitu.
Thank you for waiting over there. Oh, I'm going to faint if I'm not careful. Yep.
Hey.
Forgot to change back to that. That's another problem I did.
Hi?
Nope, we're going to have to cast a spell.
You're not
And now
getting
take
from me.
out you. Come on. There we go. Decimated that spider.
Yeah.
Sat here left in a hurry. Ink is dripped across the scroll, obscuring its content. Take that. Letter home. Mother, I have asked Brother Edric to carry this letter to you, for he travels to New Haymore coming morning. With him goes what coin I have, and I hope it will ease the surprise of an unexpected homecoming. For I mean to follow in a few days' time. Our village is much changed, and I thought I do not wish for you to worry. I do not feel safe to remain. Or it does not feel safe to remain. I know Rectrix Obrissa will not approve, but the letter trails off. How furniture is broken within the scorch marks. Or branded with scorch marks. Come on. Everyone, over here. Keep on activating slow-mo. Okay, so... is there like a search mode?
Nice and worth a look.
Aha!
Huh?
Wait 1 minute, and take that. Ooh.
Huh?
Good hit. You are going to kick him. And go ahead and attack. Another one bites the dust. These collapsed stones are pocketed with burrows of narrow crevices, claw marks, and dung mark the passage of beasts. We're going to attack, and attack as well.
Quae silves mito. Right.
Hey.
Yeah, sure.
Vermin have scurried these plates through mold, still grows on the green black clumps across the table. So just like we thought, no one's been down here for a while. I think before we go there, we'll go over here. And what's in the box?
I'm bleeding.
A trap. And I've been skewered. Although my health's also, I just noticed, at half. I'm going to need to watch out. But we have some good loot. And we have health. Let's see. Max endurance bonus, max. I am going to take that for myself for right now. Although, does that go in the cloak section? Maybe not. I actually give that to you. Because I will take my reflex save throws.
Of course.
Sure.
Oh, we got another one of you.
Hey.
Oh, crap.
Yes?
That is not good.
Huh? Wait. Huh?
Hey.
Wait.
But knock him down, baby. Character's health bar is flashing red. It's a sign that they may soon be maimed or killed. Rest at an inn or campfire to fully restore health. Yeah. Character will immediately drop depending on your difficulty setting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back here. Crap.
How may I help?
What do we got? I need an area effect spell right now. Like that.
Huh?
Not good, and I'm knocked out.
Hey.
Yes?
Okay. I'm screwed. And I didn't save it either, so... That was a failed expedition.